And welcome to my continuing series on Regal Miniatures. Regal is a New Zealand toy soldier manufacturer. They're based in Greytown in the North Island of New Zealand. As a New Zealand firm, they primarily concentrate on New Zealand specific figures, but they do have a series of soldiers from around the world. If you're interested, check out their website. Just a short note, I received no assistance or contact from Regal. These are all from my own collection, but I really like them, so I've decided to give an opportunity and display them. What we have here is a New Zealand mounted soldier from the First World War. New Zealand, in support of the United Kingdom and in conjunction with the Australian Army, deployed heavily into the Middle East in the first stages of the First World War. The Anzacs, or the Australian New Zealand Army Corps, won fame in the Gallipoli campaign, and they continued to maintain a close relationship through the First, Second World War through to today. Anzacs is an important part of both New Zealand and Australia's military and national identity, both commemorating their war dead on Anzac Day on the 25th of April, which was the day that the Anzacs went into the Gallipoli invasion. What we have here, as discussed, is a mounted soldier. Points to note from the remainder, or the rest of the Regal series, is he is wearing a mounted rifles hat. New Zealand wore two styles of hat in the early stages of the war, before the Brodie helmet was general issue. They were the mounted rifles hat, which was seen here. It's very similar to the Australian slouch hat, and basically was a cavalry hat. Colour at the time was olive drab or khaki. The mounted rifles hat is still the ceremonial headdress of the New Zealand Army Unit Queen Alexander's Mounted Rifles, and until very recently was the standard ceremonial headdress of the New Zealand Defence Force. The New Zealand Army. The New Zealand Army maintains two ceremonial hats, the other being the lemon squeezer. The lemon squeezer in the First World War was primarily used by the infantry, the artillery, and the logistics corps as their primary non-helmet headdress. The lemon squeezer for the infantry, the gunners and the loggies was preferred because it allowed water to pool off more easily. I understand the mounted rifles hat was preferred by the New Zealand mounted rifles because it allowed them, it was better for use on horseback, and the lemon squeezer would often, if they're trying to feed their horse out of their hat, the lemon squeeze would let water pool at the bottom, where this didn't happen with a mounted rifles hat. What we've got here is a mounted rifles soldier. I'm not sure the exact period, but I would suggest between 1916, 1917 or 1918, when New Zealand maintained a mounted rifles division in the Middle East in support of the British and the Australians who were operating against the Turks and the Ottomans at that stage of the war. They saw a lot of combat in and around the Middle East, particularly on the push to Jerusalem under General Allenby. They were famed for their actions in the Beersheba, the battles around Beersheba. If you don't know that, it's a famous series of battles in the Middle East that occurred in the First World War. Basically, Lord Allenby, or General Allenby, the British Commander-in-Chief, launched a flanking attack, taking the town of Beersheba, which was deep into the desert, as opposed to continuing to advance up the heavily fortified coast. The risks were running out of water, as Beersheba was the only town within a considerable distance that had adequate supplies of water to provide for an army. To reach Beersheba, the army itself, and particularly the Australians, cut themselves loose of their water supply and took the town. The risk being that if they had failed, the Australian and New Zealand units would have been cut off without water and would have probably had to surrender or die of thirst. So a bold move, which did result in success. What can we look at this man? We see he's got a single revolver. This would have been probably a Webley revolver from its size, one of the later Mark 6s, firing the powerful .455 caliber bullet. He doesn't seem to have a rifle. He doesn't have a rifle, nor does he have a sword, which is interesting. Mounted rifle soldiers were in effect mounted infantry. Their primary weapon would have been a rifle and bayonet. This would allow them to move to a location quickly, dismount from their horses, and then fight as a dismounted infantry. Incredibly useful in the desert, where they could move. They had the advantages of strategic mobility, but they had the same defensive properties as the infantry. So I'm not quite sure where his rifle is. He doesn't seem to have marks of rank, which would rationally be why he only has a pistol instead of a rifle. Possibly he could be something like a signaller or a messenger who would have been carrying far lighter scales. Turn him around to his side. We can see, again, like all Regal miniatures, it's done in what I call a gloss style of paint. You can see the light shining off the rump of the horse. I really like this style. I think it is wonderful for miniatures, and they really pop. They're really very interesting. Continue around the back, we can see he's got his sleeping gears, extra canteens, basically some bags to contain supplies for when they cut themselves off from the main logistics supplies. Indicators that this is an officer, we've got a binoculars pouch on the back, or it could be a scout. Beautiful and well painted miniature, very sturdy, made of metal. I understand it's either pewter. I keep trying to say lead soldiers, but I'm not quite sure whether it is lead or not. Again, another excellent figure from Regal Manufacturing. I hope you have a good day. Thank you very much.